Hi everybody, I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Yep, I made another storybook, and I figured out that since 42 of you now have written to me privately and asked for a template, that I probably should make one for you. This is my newest one, and I created it after I made the template. It took me a while to figure out how to do a template, so let me show you what I've done. I'll actually, I added some extra things here on the side. Genevieve Designs has certainly explained to me the importance of not wasting space, and I'm going to scan this and make this available to you. I started with the initial business size envelope, traced around it, and ended up with fold lines and flaps so that we could have a flap going out each way. All right, and I'm going to show you how I cut it. I'm going to initially cut down this line and this line, and I tried to place this on the page so that when you get a copy of it and print it, there'll be enough room for it to pull through at the top and still print at the bottom and the sides. You might miss my DearMYRTLE.com part, but anyway. And these parts here that I've drawn the lines through, you won't need, except that right here, I'm going to draw a circle here on the template so you remember that when you come into a corner like that, you don't want to be precise. You want to have a little semicircle. So instead of cutting it like this very sharply, you're going to cut it like this at a curve. Then you have some paper you can tuck in so that whatever is underneath the flap or the fold line won't be problematic. Okay, so just to show you I'm a real person, this was one of my prototypes where I had the incorrect 3.5 inch. Basically, you have a 1/2 inch border all the way around that business size envelope. You don't have to download my template. It's just if you really want to, you may. And I made this, we'll cut it out of this really cool, nice music paper. I like that. And I'll just show you how I would cut it because I want to save as much paper as possible. Okay, so we've got to get our cutting line. I never cut straight lines without it being against here, across the bottom or across the top. Let me move this up so you can see what I'm doing. I just happen to be across the bottom because of where I need to cut. There's the 1/2 inch mark. Put it right there. Okay. Now, slightly off. All right, then I'm going to cut here for this fold line above it, 1/2 inch, because that's going to be part of the fold, and the rest of this is fine. Then I'm going to take my little scissors and cut out these small parts, and these can be saved because that could be an embellishment later somewhere with something else attached to it, maybe a pearl, half round pearl, something like that. Boy, have I got glue all over my fingers, I'm noticing. But I'm having so much fun doing this. Okay. Now, the other thing is I've got really super thick paper here. And so I'm going to use the scoring to help me take advantage of the fact that I have really nice thick paper. I said it. I didn't say fabric. All right. Ooh, I forgot to cut out that corner, didn't I? All right. Now, when I score it, I'm going to do it several times carefully this paper is not good paper. Look how it is so brittle. We live in a very dry climate. And look, it broke all the way through it. That's all right. We'll be able to do something different later. What that tells me is that I need to be really careful and not score quite so much for my other fold lines. I can get away with it. All right. So, gosh, gee, I was being so careful. It'll be different when I move to Washington State. I know. All right, let's get all this out of the way. All righty. Let's just do it once and see what we can do. Because basically, you just coax the paper into the fold. And right here, because this is going to be a flap for this lower pocket, I'll take all the stuff out so you can see it better. Oh dear. Doesn't want to come loose. All right. Pull this out. Okay. So we're wanting this flap to extend into this a half an inch. And then the pocket will have a nice flap. Theoretically, possibly. All right, so let me get my scissors again and cut that part. All right, this part's going to be folded away, and it's easier once you get somewhat of a fold line scored on your scoreboard. I mean something different for my grandchildren. Now that one folded nicely and did not actually break the paper. Okay, and here we need to cut, not this one where I made my mistake. But I didn't want to waste any more paper. Plus I like this paper. I think it would be good. All right, let's do our a light. We just did a single score. Here's my bone scorer. I also use it to, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to just ease it in there. Carefully, 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 carefully. All right. All right, we need to do that for the bottom part too, because that's going to go up and fold around. All righty. And we're going to tease it carefully, 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 carefully. Let's see if we can do it without tearing it. Slight tear there. Do you see that? The paper's just very, very dry. If I were in Florida, I wouldn't be having this problem. So basically, by George, I think we've got it. Let's show what it looks like upside down. There's our Z, backward Z. That's what one side of this is going to look like. I'll be able to touch this up with some of that archival ink when I age it. And of course, this middle part will be covered up with some kind of companion paper like that. But I'm not putting it on yet because I want to put the pockets with a little flap extending into this area so that it'll be super strong. Apparently this is brittle paper, but anyway, that is the template. I'm going to upload the template to Google Drive so that and make it a shareable, printable. I don't know that I'm going to go into business making templates, but I just have had so many people request, how the heck did you do that, old Mert? Okay, then I added a couple of tags, and the concept here is make 3 copies so that you can have all 3 sizes. I would actually photocopy this on like some kind of template paper. Doesn't have to be clear, but it could be 60-pound, doesn't have to be 120-pound, although you might. Added my 3 little hearts, so you know it's really me. Anyway, I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. That's the template for my little storybooks that I've been making lately. I still have to give you the, or show you how to, without a template, create the actual pockets here, but not to worry. Nothing left to say but happy family tree climbing, everybody. That's a wrap.